자, 영어 프로젝트 2차 시작할게요. 짝짝짝짝짝. 순서는 정정당당하게 가위바위보로 선정했기 때문에 첫 번째 김성민이 발표하는 교육, 두 번째 예술, 세 번째 미디어, 네 번째 경제 영역입니다. 그다음에 이제 발표자가 나와서 발표를 하면은 모두들 경청해주고 만약 이 영역에 대해서 발표가 끝나면은 이 발표에 이 PPT 모든 거에 함께한 팀원들이 나가가지고 뭐 이렇게 팀원이 미디어 영역을 담당했습니다. 감사합니다 하고 마치고 들어가고 짧게 2, 3분 정도 그 다음 팀이 준비를 한 다음에 이렇게 계속 반복적으로 할게요. 그리고 모든 발표가 마친 이후에는 지난번과 마찬가지로 각 팀 다 이 순서에 맞춰서 부를 테니까 앞에 나와서 한국어로 소감 얘기하고 마무리할 거고 영어 프로젝트 자체는 이렇게 마무리가 될 거고 친구들이 피어 리뷰를 했으면 좋겠어요. 이제 팀원들끼리 어떻게 했는지 얘기를 해보고 이제 그걸 작성하는 포맷을 줄 테니까 그건 차후에 이제 작성해서 쌤한테 주면 됩니다. 그 다음에 뭐 어땠는지에 대한 감상을 지금 뭐 여기서도 얘기를 하겠지만 한국어로 이때는 감상문도 영어로 할 수는 없겠죠? 영어로 하고 싶은 사람? 그러니까 한국어로 적어서 형식을 줄 테니까 그거에 맞춰서 적어서 뭐 쌤이 말하는 제출일까지 쌤한테 갖다 줬으면 좋겠어요. 질문 있나요? 네. 쉬는 시간은 아마 그 각 영역마다 끝나면은 준비 기간이 좀 있을 거예요. 근데 그걸 2, 3분이라고 얘기했는데 넉넉 잡아서 5분 정도로 쳐서 진행할 것 같아요. 그래서 5분 그다음 뭐 쉬는 시간이 따로 앞전에 필요한 시온이네 팀 같은 경우에는 그때를 고려해가지고 5분에서 10분 정도 앞에서 이제 설명하는 시간이 필요하다고 하면은 그렇게 줄 수 있어요. 네. 자, 그러면은 김성민 팀 교육 분야에 대해서 발표할게요.
영어죠 이제부터. Good morning. Nice to see you again. Again, I'm Sam. And again, the first presentation. Yeah. So today, our team, based on the last presentation, I would like to tell you about the prospect of education of Korea, how it changes. 넘어갔어요? Our team members, first our leader, our teacher, Isaac Han, and Paul, me, and Noah. Okay, before we start, let's remind. Um, I would like to remind you that the key point of the last presentation we did before. Do anyone remember? A little bit, so I will remind you. It was about unpredictable future and about AL and CL, which was alternative learning and continuous learning. The meaning, does anyone remember the meaning of AL and CL? Do you want to remind it? If so, AL it was alternative learning, which means learning by yourself. And continuous learning is learning after the graduate. Okay, that was the key point because we cannot predict the future. We don't know what will come in the future. So, let's start the contents. First of all, we're going to look at the big flow of the Korean curriculum. Second, we'll talk about the 2022 revised curriculum and how Korean education is going to change. And finally, third, we're going to share our opinion about this topic. Okay, first, education in Korea. This is a timeline which showing the process of the curriculums in Korea. As you see, From the first revision in 1954 to the current education revision in 2022, the curriculum was revised for 10 times. It's pretty a lot. And it's too much. Yeah, so we divided it in 2 periods. From first to the 6th curriculum, and from the 7th to the present curriculum. From the first to 6th revised curriculum, the key point was stabilizing education in Korea by eliminating the remains of Japanese education, removing it, and converting it to the modern basic education. At that time, the financial situation of the country was poor. Do you know why? Because the government, the country, just had arisen in 1948. 나라가 세워지다. So the financial situation was poor in that day. There are many cases of students not being able to go to a university, even though their grades were good, because they didn't have enough money. They were smart, but they didn't have money, so they could not go to a university. So all people, most of the people, many people at that time needed to study in able to survive, really to survive, and mend the economic situation of the country. We can see subjects such as technology, industry, agriculture, it's a mistake, and more, which we don't study now in schools, right? So people at that time really needed to study in order to survive. As time goes, the country's situation, the financial situation, improved gradually. And now in schools, students don't study industry and agriculture. Even so, it's clear that the students are studying hard right now. In the past or in the present, it's fact. However, the meaning of this studying may be though similar, but it's actually different. Past and present, the conclusive reason of studying is to earn money. Right now and in the past too. Instead of studying industry, they're eventually studying these days, students right now. But students these days are studying in order to go to a college, to get a job, and live a stable life. That's the reason of studying right now for these students. But based on the present background, the education also have changed. Instead of studying industry and arguments, these days the students are studying subjects such as math, science, social studies, Korean history, or English, which they are subjects preparing for SAT. Okay, I forgot. Okay, you see it? All those subjects, they're for SAT. In that day, they needed to study those subjects in order to survive. And that day, in the current the students studied in order to go to the do SAT, and go to a college. The key point is that curriculum can be changed according to the environment and trends of the time. Do you understand? Understanding? Apply, please. Thank you. So, right now, let's look how the current curriculum changed today, how it revised in 2022. Currently, society is going through the fourth industrial revolution. According to the report of the Ministry of Education, their main goals are to raise students with the capability to get on to the unpredictable future. That's the main goal, and bit more details. This is their main goals. First, to raise self-directed students. Self-directed students, it's the students who are doing AL, alternative learning by yourself, which is our former topic. And second, to raise students with capability who can flexibly respond to the changes in the future. And third, to arrange digital education following the trends. That's their main goals. In order to make it true, the Ministry of Education is currently gradually introducing a high school credit system. And they said that the high school credit system will be fully introduced in all high schools in Korea in 2025 it was. 2025. So, what is the high school credit system? Excuse me. A high school credit system is a system in which students can choose a subject they want to study, to learn, in addition to the mandatory subjects, which are Korean, English, math, social studies, Korean history, and science. With that, students acquire credits for each subject they choose and graduate when the credit point is over 192. It is very similar to a university. You're choosing the subject you want to study, and you're doing it. As a result, each individual student will have his or her own timetable. Homeroom teachers will also be a little more closer to mentors who help you with career counseling and course registration. Also, if there is no subjects you want to study in school, you can take elective classes with other students from other schools together online through the joint curriculum. In the mandatory classes, students will study with their classmates, and in the elective classes, which is the subject you can choose and study, they will study with students who have applied for the same class. And the last page, the prospect we think, our thoughts of this curriculum. We think that there will be new subjects such as like Arduino, coding, and more creative classes in normal schools for the trend of the time. Due to the high school credit system, many students will be troubled about their careers. And schools will need more teachers because there is more subjects. I mean, the students are choosing subjects they want to study, so they need teachers will teach them that subject. And in order to apply it to all schools, the high school credit system in the country, all schools in the country, the government should actively support small rural schools. With students thinking about their careers, students will learn more about themselves. That's what I'm thinking, because just right now in the current, most of the students they studied in order to do SAT, and first, their goal is, first, let's go to college, find a good job, and stable life. But now, they need to think what they really want to do. That's the key point. And we half anticipate and half worry about it, about these changes, because it's a big change. But it is sure that it will bring a big change to the Korean education system. Yeah. So far, we have learned about the revised curriculum in Korea. Thank you for listening.
Is there any question for? If you raise your hand, I'm gonna hand over the mic
Questions?
first. Hayan first.
As you said, the curriculum, the trends affect the curriculum. So you said that curriculum has changed, right? Then
The government.
yeah. So what affect that? What trend do you think that affect this curriculum change?
There is, as I said, that day in these days is for the industrial revolution, and many people are interested in coding computers, so it's changing in digital education, for digital education, and instead of uh, studying for SAT, there is the country want from the students to find their dream, real dream. There is a word that say, just do it, do what you want to be, do what you want to do. So it can affect to the education this day, the trends.
So you were saying the trends, the trends that affect the curriculum is that I can study that whatever I want
Yeah, in high school.
in high school.
But it's in 2025, fully it will introduce.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Other questions?
Yeah, he goes first.
Okay.
How does Korean SAT works?
I think it will disappear, or it will be more weak, because in Korea just now, the students thinking first they're studying for SAT, only SAT. First, let's go to the college, then I will think what I do. So it will be changed, because in the high school right now, if we don't change it, in high school or studying students, as I said, they're studying math, Korean, English, and more subjects which preparing for SAT. But now it will change, because you need to find what you want to study, not for the SAT, for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, others?
Do you have a question? Oh, okay. I have a question for it.
Okay.
And then you said Korean SAT be disappeared. Then what's the criteria for, like, for college to get in?
Uh, Actually, I cannot answer it to you because about the college, about the SAT, I forgot it. The government will notice it in 2024 about it.
Is it actually written by a document?
Yeah.
That 2024 there will be
Yeah.
a big deal.
This is
Yeah.
according to Ministry of Education.
Okay, thank you. And is there any more question? Okay, thank you. And
Thank
who
you.
are your teams? Who are your teams?
뭐요? 한국어요?
Thank you.
뭐 하는 거야?
감사합니다.
아리가또 고자이마스.
Okay. Let's have 3 minutes for the next team.
With tears still on your face.
And guys,
Heard you call
let me announce during the recession time. Guys,
my night was turned to day. He came.
hey guys, let me announce during the recession time. Actually, it's not recession. It is the time for the next team to prepare, so you guys have to be quiet, except for the next team. Got it? And are you guys understanding all the conversation or the presentation? But then partially, right? So I hope you to write down some memo about each team. So I'm gonna ask you like to write down some summary for each team member, each team. Yeah, sure. You can write down in Korean.
Said death's only sleeping. With one word, my heart was beating. I rose up from my grave. My fear was turned to faith. He came. I knew that you would come. You said, my heart it woke up. I'm not afraid. I see your face. I am alive. You came. I knew that you would come.
Hello, we are Novelist of Lijo, who was speaking about the arts last time. This time we'll learn more about the romanticism among various musical styles. Wow! In this project, Janice was in charge of data research, script and PPT, and Mark was in charge of PPT, and I was in charge of data research and presentation. Have you listened to these songs? There is a lot of classical music that was easily heard around us, especially in the Romantic era. What is the reason? If you know the historical and cultural background of Romanticism and see its characteristics, you can get an answer. Let's find out about the Romanticism. Let me introduce the table of contents. The first is the meaning of Romanticism. The second is the background of the Romanticism. Background of the times. The third is the influence of the background of the times. First is the characteristics of Romanticism. And the fifth is the conclusion. Do you know what Romanticism means? Romanticism comes from the medieval French word romance. In the 12th and 13th centuries, romance was a word that means stories such as heroic events or secular love stories. Later, in the 17th century, romance became the etymology of the adjective romantic in English, which was transformed into a word that contained fantasy, adventure, emotional state, etc. Now, we are going to talk about the background of the times that influenced the Romantic era. The first is the French Revolution. The French Revolution was a revolution based on the ideas of the Enlightenment. Enlightenment is a progressive idea that seeks to advance and improve human life by enlightening human reason, opposing the long-standing ideas that begin in the church and the privileges of the church. So the French Revolution is caused by citizen dissatisfaction with the feudal system. But it's also a revolution caused by a backlash against a system based on the authority of the church. The second is the first industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution allows machines to work much more efficiently on behalf of people, from small things that people do with their hands to things that require strength. So this is a time when the emerging bourgeoisie emerged through the development of capitalism. The third is the background of the times other than the revolution explained earlier. This period was a period of rapid social change, with the establishment of a modern state by the French Revolution, the development of democracy, the Industrial Revolution, the New Humanism, individualism, capitalism, and socialism. And because of many conflicts, the Crimean War, the American Civil War, and the Prussian-French War took place. Now, let's look at the influence of the background of the times. First, the direction of Romanticism. The Romantic period, as I explained earlier, was very disturbing, so people felt increasingly desperate as they faced reality. Therefore, people have come to escape reality to yearn for a mysterious and unrealistic fantasy. This led to development of a free form of music that freely expresses the world of individual subjective emotions. Musicians also consider themselves creative and special people who are different from normal people. So they begin to compose technically excellent music. Then comes the word virtuoso. Virtuoso, which means a great performer. Now let's listen to Mazeppa by Liszt, the leading musician of virtuoso, and see how technically splendid the music of the period has become. The Korean pianist's name is Lim Yoon-chan and he is 19 years old. Isn't that amazing? The second is the emergence of new music consumers. In the Romantic era, piano music also developed rapidly as the piano was improved at this period by the Industrial Revolution. As the middle class increased, families who could afford it enjoyed a leisure life as having a piano in the living room and holding a home concert, and learning to play piano became a must-have culture for women. So the bourgeoisie has emerged as a new consumer of music at this time. The third is the decline of patronage system. This was a time when the noble was in need due to war and inflation, so composers who were sponsored by churches of nobles or who belonged to the public made money by holding concerts, commissioned, or publication to the public. Before you know the characteristics of Romanticism, there is something important to know. It's literature. This is period when the great writers of Germany, Goethe, Schiller, Müller, Heine, and Morick were active, which led to a meeting of music and literature. So let's talk about the characteristics of Romanticism. The first is program music. As explained earlier, in the Romantic era, when literature developed, composers were inspired by literary works and tired to express it in music. Therefore, program music was developed that explained or implied the content of the song through the title. One of the most representative program music is Berlioz' Symphonic Fantastic. The second is a symphonic poem. Symphonic poem is a musical style created by Franz Liszt. Symphonic poem is a musical style created by Franz Liszt. He wanted to make music as concise as a poem rather than multi-movement music like a symphony. So he created a symphonic poem, a symphony in the form of a single movement. Symphonic poem is an orchestral work inspired by poetic content and literature, and it is kind of a program music. One of the most representative symphonic poems is the Liszt's Les Préludes. Finally, the art song Lied. Lied is German art song that combines German writers, poetry, and music in the main vocal style of the Romantic era. The development of piano by the Industrial Revolution naturally leads to the development of piano accompaniment. So if piano was simply the role of accompaniment before, piano plays a big role in art song, even though it is a vocal music. This song is a Schubert di Forella. I said that classical music, which was easily heard around us at the beginning of the presentation, has a lot of music from the Romantic era. Romantic music was free music to express word to individual subjective emotions. And we could often hear it around us because many technical songs were composed. But what we need to focus on is that Romanticism is music to escape from reality. This secular music cannot satisfy our needs, so we have to fill ourselves with worship, the essence of music. For these reasons, we reached the same conclusion as in the first presentation. The people I formed for myself that they may proclaim my praise. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 21. Thank you. Any question?
So as you said, there's after the church, after the 그 뭐냐, French Revolution, you said there's many like 무슨 즘, like this 샤머니즘 like romanticism. So after the church was almost bandit of the French Revolution.
French Revolution?
You said the French Revolution
Yeah.
occurred because of the church.
Occurred because of the church?
Yes.
Okay.
So, do you think why did the church did?
What did the church?
The church did something, so so the result is that the French Revolution occurred, right?
Occurred.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand.
교회가 뭘 했길래 그 프랑스 혁명이 나왔나요?
Ah, French Revolution is not begin because the church. In this time, in the French Revolution is begin. Before the 98% of the people in France was the 노동자, and the 2% was the authority. So, and the 노동자 they need to give money to them about the ground, 땅, okay, and because this reason, and there was many war in these centuries, so the 노동자 get many stress, so they come to change the change.
Did the church get money from the people?
No.
Then why did they get the stress? You said the stress was because of the ground.
Oh,
So Hyan just asked about the French Revolution, right? So I guess it's about history, and French Revolution is related with the like hierarchy system in the society, and I think it's not about the art, which is the part of the region. So yeah, I guess the question could be over by now. Any other question for it? And then I have a question. Why did you guys pick the Romanticism era?
because Romanticism, say the no essence is in Romanticism, the music changed to um, essence to emotions. So, and before the Romanticism, there was 고전주의. That there was in not essence, only to the authority or more kings. There is in high level. So in this Romanticism, so they changed the music to the they the all people in the world can uh, join together and
I got it. So Romanticism is the era that actually rapidly changes the music, like the art. So that's the reason why you guys picked the era. No?
no, and because this reason, the music was made because to like Isaiah chapter 43, like 21 verse, to praise the God, but it's over the uh, this
What is this?
title, this title.
So Romanticism made the people to listen to the music, not only the authorities. And then it helps the church to make a songs. Right?
I don't understand.
So Romanticism is the era that changes the music and art region from authorities to the just public people.
Yeah,
And that's the reason why you guys picked the era.
because that there many secular music was made the composers.
So the Christian songs are made by that affection.
yes, so the Christian songs were smaller, and the secular music was many. So the people don't praise to God. Only they sing the songs and enjoy the music to them.
So yeah, Christian songs and songs for God was made at that time a lot. Yeah? Okay. Is there any other question? Okay, thank you. Then next team should be prepared.
When all I see is the battle, you see my victory. When all I see is the mountain, you see a mountain move. And as I walk through the shadow, your love surrounds me. For there
The
is
art team should be gathered in the front and then 인사.
I'm safe with you. So when I fight
Yeah, these are the team of our
At your feet, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And if you are for me, who can be against me? For Jesus, there's nothing impossible for you. When all I see are the ashes, you see the beauty. See the beauty. When all I see is a cross, God, you see the empty tomb. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet. I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadow, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power.
시작할까요? Okay, our team is the media, and I want to talk the team of the media. Oh? Jonathan is me, and I did the metaverse. And about the Samuel, he did the wearable devices, and about the Michael, I want to write assist, but it was some hard, so I translate to some help. Okay. As we talk about the metaverse, let's talk about the people thought on the metaverse first. Okay. First is VR devices. Second is virtual world. And for last one is avatar. But the word metaverse is actually a compound word with meta and verse. The word meta was introduced in the novel called Snow Crash. And the verse is just simply universe. So it compounds to the metaverse. And I want to talk about the 3 different platforms of the metaverse. Horizon, Earth 2, and the World of Warcraft. Let's begin with Horizon first. Horizon have 3 parts: Horizon Home, Horizon World, Horizon Workrooms. About the Horizon World, or about the Horizon Home, when Mark Zuckerberg first found Horizon Home, he wants people to design their own home. and invite people over to play many other things and teleport in and out wherever we want. Speaking of teleporting, there are going to be all kinds of different spaces that people make, but also games and horror world that you can teleport in and out wherever you want. Teleporting around the metaverse is going to be like clicking a link on the metaverse. It is an open standard. In order to unlock the potential of the metaverse, there needs to be interoperabilities that goes beyond just taking your avatars in digital items across different apps and experience, which we are already building in an API to support. You want to know that when you build something or buy something, that your own item will be useful in a lot of context, and you're not going to be locked on in one world or platform. Now, back to Horizon. At first, they missed some important part, people. But now, they made a social version of home that can invite people to play games and watch videos and hang out and do many other things. And there is Horizon World. About the Horizon World, in there, people can build their apps or jump into other people's. In here, there are special things that you can invite your friends or family in the whole world and be with them, even though there is many spaces between them. And for last one is Horizon Workrooms. About the Horizon Workrooms, you can work, debate, brainstorming, and discuss with people in the work. So these Horizon will bring your physical world into the metaverse. So this is the end of the Horizon, and let's move on to the next platforms, Earth 2. Earth 2 is very similar with real estate, but only in the metaverse. People buy and sell places. Okay, I will explain with some examples. When you look at this picture, this is the picture of Central Park in the US. And the blue thing is Central Park's pond. So the pond was sold by Australia people. But the strange thing is that you cannot tell it's your real property in the real world. It's only your property in the metaverse. So it's not yours in the real world. So I find most strange thing in here. And I zoomed out of this picture. It looked like this. So every space there is a space, right? So this space tells that other countries that buy. So there is US, Australia, Korea, many other countries. And for the last platform, World of Warcraft. Okay, World of Warcraft. About the World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft introduced the game of region of Jewel Group on September 13. The boss, the region of Hakar there, cast the corrupted blood on the raid participants. And the debuff was expired when player defeated Hakar. Corrupted blood soon spread beyond Jewel Group as they reacted the infection with panic, either fast traveling heavily populated games regions of deactivated their pets. When players were reactivated, still carrying debuff, so while non-player character became as panoptic carriers. So it's hard, right? It's hard to understand. So I'll make it much more easier. Much more easier. So as the player and the pet was defeating Hakar. So as they were defeating them, the Hakar cast the corrupted blood on both sides. So the owner worried that the debuff will kill their pets, so he worried and deactivated the pet. After when they defeated Hakkar, the owner's debuff was gone. But so when he reactivated the pet, the pet was still carrying debuff. So what happened? The owner affects the pet affects the owner. But there is no boss. So when we'll end? There is no end in the debuff because there is no boss. There is no boss to kill. So there is no end time. So but the error occurred when they deal with that NPC. The NPC get affected. But the NPC cannot be killed, right? So you cannot tell that the NPC get affected or not. So when they left, and other people came to deal with that NPC, they get affected. So when this situation gets serious, the game master called GM came to see what happened. But imagine his surprise when he get affected too. So he was surprised. So after several fails of hotfix, Blizzard ended the pandemic by performing a hard reset. And later, the patch prevent companions from contracting corrupted blood entirely. So this situation called the corrupted blood incident. But what didn't I speak as when this situation was getting bigger, people isolate the beginners because they cannot survive with that debuff. So they isolated the beginners and they tried not to enter the big cities because it only made the situation got worse. But did you think it is similar with something that isolated some people and you cannot meet in the big cities? When it was Corona, when I got a Corona, I isolated in Incheon. But in here, it was the same, right? They isolated the beginners. So, but even though it was 2005 years, it was occurred in 2005. So the researchers thought of it was a good experience to study with the pandemic. So other games of like RPG are going to, or they put some pandemic in some area. Okay. This is the end of for me and the metaverse, and after me, Hamin will present with the wearable devices.
Wearable wearable devices refer to wearable computers that can be upgraded upgraded from smart devices to be worn, such as glasses, watches, and clothing. As a result, goal is to help health by complementing human abilities, or allowing users to wear and use them all the time like parts of the body without a feeling of disgust. It is not simply an accessory that wears an electronic device on the body. but an electronic device that can communicate with the user's position nearest to the user's body. The advantage of wearable devices is they can continually collect detailed information about the surrounding environment or personal physical changes in real time. Let's find out about a smart meter. A smart meter is meter made by attaching a meter phone to a display or transparent glass. It's an example of wearable device. Although it has a shape of a meter, but smart meter pursue the convenience of daily life through the display of various functions such as weather, date, health, and fashion. In addition, the smart meter recognizes and controls users' motion and emotion. And activates secretary functions, voice control, motion control, and conversation. Although it has the shape of a meter, In addition, when the smart meter looks into the mirror and breathes into the respirator according to the introductions, the recognition program 3D scanner and multispectral camera analyze the face, skin, and blood vessels and body types to identify smoking and drinking and stress conditions. The visible light monitoring system checks oxygen saturation, and the ultraviolet scanner checks blood sugar levels and expressive health conditions as scores, and warning of diabetes and heart disease. Let's watch a short video about the smart lens. Let's pass. Please show the PPT. PPT. Okay. let's find about the smartwatches. Please show PPT. Okay. Okay. Smartwatches are embedded system of portable watches that feature enhancements over regular watches. It's mostly in the form of feature wrist watches. Smartwatches features touch panel equipped with object that can touch and operate the screen, or analog dial watches include mail and incoming notifications, calls, and healthcare functions. Let's find about wearable devices grow. The market, which is considered the next generation battleground, U.S. big tech companies, is in the healthcare sector. The Financial Times analyzed Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, Apple invested a total of $3 billion in the healthcare sector last year, and an additional $3 billion was invested by the middle of this year. Wearable devices such as smartwatches serve as a bridgehead for big tech to enter the healthcare market. Therefore, wearable devices are expected to grow at an annual average of 22% and reach more than 5 times $140 billion by 2027. Wearable medical devices today are more convenient and professional than most medical devices because they continue, evolve, and grow powerfully. Thank you.
Okay, about the Q&A. Is there a question? Yep. What is it? Lens.
Yes.
Do it with the mic.
It's about the lens. We can buy it somewhere?
I don't know, but it's still developing.
Okay.
I think it will be used in army first. Anyone else?
Was there any information about the lens or like the upcoming machines, wearable devices?
Upcoming?
Yeah. It's like coming in the future, but it will be sold by 2024, 2025. Is there any other like wearable devices that's gonna be commercialized?
We think the wearable devices will be the same, but it will be more upgrade.
Will be the same
More upgrade.
upgraded?
Yeah.
And
Oh.
what do you guys think about metaverse and wearable devices? How does the trend works, and do you think it goes positive way or negative way?
About the metaverse, I think it will be more positive way, because it is still developing, and I think it will be take more percentage of our life. And wearable devices.
I think wearable device will. It is very important technology, so I think it will be grow powerfully.
Do you think it is necessary for us to develop? And it's
Yes.
gonna go positive way.
Yes.
Okay, that's your opinion. Okay. Is there any other question for it? Okay.
Thank you. 저 그 유인물 나눠 드릴 건데 이거 쉬는 시간 동안 최대한 숙지 다 해놓으시고 모르는 거 있으면은 재상이 형이나 저한테 찾아와서 되게 쉽게 최대한 쉽게 풀어놨거든요. 그래서 모르는 거 있으면 재상이 형이나 저한테 찾아와서 묻거나 아니면 뒤에 옆에 있는 친구들 형 누나 동생들한테 최대한 물어서 쉬는 시간 동안 다 숙지할 수 있도록 해주시면 감사하겠습니다.
There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Hallelujah. Praise the one who set me free. And hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, you're my living hope. Jesus, my living hope. You're my living
Grand earth has quaked before, moved by the sound of his voice, and seas that are shaken and stirred can be calmed and broken for my regard. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. Oh, far be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see. And this mountain that's in front of me, oh, will be thrown into the midst of the sea. Yeah, through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well. It is well. Let go my soul and trust in him. The waves and wind still know his name. So let go my soul and trust in him. The waves and wind name.
안녕하세요. Hello. Today we are team 8053다. Wow. Yes. Yes. Presenting on the Legoland crisis. Yes. PPT. Yeah. Legoland. Yes. Do you know Legoland? Do you know Legoland? Yes. In Gangwon-do. Yes. Did you go? No. Okay. First, Nate has abandoned our team. There are only the two of us. 이거 넘어가나요 이거? 이렇게 되구나. 오케이. 이렇게 되나? 오케이. As you see here in the table of contents. Okay, we will first be learning about the Legoland agreement. And then we will explore the construction of Legoland and the problem during it. We will also learn about the effect that governor of Gangwon province had on the crisis. And finally, we will be looking at future events. Okay, let's start. Okay, first chapter, Legoland Convention. Okay, here, this is Merlin Entertainment. Okay, Merlin Entertainment and Gangwon-do. Do you know Gangwon-do? Yeah. Do you know Gangwon-do? Okay. In 2011, Gangwon-do and Merlin Entertainment signed an investment agreement to create Legoland. Yes. In 2013, the construction of Legoland began in Gangwon-do when the Merlin and Gangwon-do signed the UA. Here is Merlin Entertainment boss and Gangwon-do boss. Yes. His name is Choi Moon-sun. Okay. Yes. Okay. At this time, Gangwon-do will establish a voluntary company called Gangwon-jungdo Development Corporation, or also called GJC, yes, for the construction of Legoland. However, the problematic part of this contract is that Gangwon-jungdo Development Corporation stake is 40% owned by Gangwon-do and 22.5% in Merlin Entertainment. And is lease free of charge for 10 years, 100 years. Okay. This is yes, 중도 ground. Gangwon-do give the 중도 ground to Merlin Entertainment. 100 years. Yes. This is problem. Yes. So many people oppose this contract. Additionally, Gangwon-do pays for the provision of land and things like parking lots and construction costs. Another flaw is that if Legoland income is less than 40 billion won, Gangwon-do cannot make a profit. Yes. Okay. So other problem. And in 2018, a treaty from the MDA convention reduced import from Gangwon-do from 30% to 3%. In fact, there was a case of declaring non-participation in opposition to the UA treaty, like this. And there was even a case in which Shin Yong-jae, a member of the Liberty Korea Party, even bowed in front of the women, like this. Even bowed in front of the National Assembly in opposition to the MDA. MDA agreement. He is 신용재, so he opposite MDA contract. So don't accept this contract. So disavow other member. Yes. Okay. Next is chapter 2. Yes. And explain you. 이거 해. 내가 해.
Wow. Okay. Second chart is Legrand construction process plus problem. Okay. Let's start. If various agreement, construction for Legrand begin in 2013. Okay. However, during construction, a large amount of release were found and construction was suspended. Because of this, GJC, who were aiming to open Legrand in 2015, had to stop construction until 2019. GJC received a huge amount of debt in the process. Luckily, Berlin Entertainment visited 118 billion won again to resume construction. However, construction was suspended again due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, I1 제일차, a prestigious company, was established to cover the rest of the funds that were not covered by the 180 billion won from Berlin. Then the government issued 205 billion won worth of ABCP bonds. To summarize, Gangwon-do established the company GJC for the construction of Legoland, and GJC established PFB or I1 제일차 for financing. I1 제일차 tried to borrow 205 billion won by issuing ABCP bonds. But the GJC, which had a lot of debt, so did not have enough credit. So investor didn't lend out money on the ABCP bonds. However, Gangwon-do guaranteed GJC that they will pay anything GJC could do. Due to Gangwon province guarantee, the ABCP bonds were retained up to highest grade A1. Investor invest in local government bonds with increased credibility. Eventually, Legoland opened on May 5th, 2022 after many twists and turns. Next chart is the impact of Governor Kim Jin-tae's remark on Legoland, and we borrowed a special guest. Let's see video first.
Finally, Legoland was opened, but due to the lack of visitors, Legoland was not able to make much profit. This means you don't have the ability to pay your debt. The ABCP agreement was supposed to pay off the debt with Legoland's entry income. However, since Legoland had a lack of income, Governor Kim Jin-tae of Gangwon-do applied for corporate rehabilitation to GJC. To briefly explain corporate rehabilitation, it refers to a restructuring process in which a court-designated third party manages the overall part of corporate activities for a company that is in crisis due to poor management. In other words, this means that Gangwon-do will pay off its debt by selling GJC's assets. Next page. Governor Kim Jin-tae's remarks have made a significant impact on the bond market as local governments' bond credit equivalent to government bonds has fallen. Next. In fact, KEPCO, a AAA grade company, issued 400 billion bonds, but over 120 billion won worth of bonds were missed. Korea Expressway Corporation and Gwacheon City Corporation bonds were also fully auctioned off. Next. Governor Kim Jin-tae announces that he will fully repay the GJC guarantee debt of 205 billion won by this year to deal with the situation. Next. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Strategy and Finance Cho Kyung-ho, Bank of Korea Governor Lee Chang-young, Financial Services Commission Chairman Kim Jo-hyun, Financial Supervisory Commission Director Lee Byuk-hyun, and President Choi Sang-bok held an emergency microeconomic and financial meeting to discuss ways to stabilize the market. Deputy Prime Minister Cho Kyung-ho said after the meeting, "We will expand the liquidity supply program to 50 trillion won plus alpha. The program includes 20 trillion won in bond safety funds, 16 trillion won in corporate bonds and corporate bill purchase programs, 3 trillion won in support for securities firms lacking liquidity, and 10 trillion won in guarantee support for operators of the Korea Housing and Urban Guarantee Corporation and the Korea Housing Finance Corporation." Next. Finally, future prospects. The government may inject excessive liquidity funds to accelerate inflation. In addition, this can paralyze the financing of blue chip companies, and there is risk of chain bankruptcy due to the bankruptcy of blue chip companies. The end.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Jeff, do you have any question?
Yes.
Okay.
no,
Can you-
no finish.
No finish. Can you PPT last page?
Yes. Our team.
He is not our team. Kim Kim.
Do you have any question?
Yeah.
Yes. Your question.
Why did you choose Legoland?
Because
Yeah.
Legoland is interesting subject. Yeah, so I want to choose Legoland, but other team members opposing my 의견. So yeah, but I choose that. Yes, it's very interesting. Yes.
And Legoland is biggest issue in Korea
Yes.
in now. In this year.
Okay, as the Gangwon-do says, I promise that they can return the money, so they borrow to the PFV, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so if they fail to return the money,
Yes.
the PVC have failed, and other companies that you say like 강원도 증권회사, 증권건설회사,
강원중도 디벨롭먼트.
네, 강원중도 디벨롭
강원중도 개발공사.
did fail also.
Yes, yes. No. 강원중도 개발공사. If return the if 그 누구지? I don't know. PFB I want to say just kind I1 제1차 if don't return the money so 대신 이제 강원도가 이제 return money yes but 많은 증권사 이렇게 찾아가 강원도 yes so 강원도 return the money but they cannot return money so a few months ago 강원도 province 김진태 say 회생 신청. Yes, 회생 신청. this 회생 신청 means I1 제1차의 자산을 매각해서 주식으로 이렇게 돌린 다음에 이렇게 해서 갚겠다라는 뜻이거든요. 이게 영어로 너무 어려워요, 이게. 하여튼 돈을 못 갚으니까 이제 I1 제1차 their money I get 강원도 get so this money I will give 증권사 이렇게 okay so but this process province no province invade 제3자 법원에서 지정해준 제3자가 이렇게 개입해서 이렇게 돈을 이렇게 받고 이렇게 다 나눠준다 이런 느낌 이렇게 되는 오케이 알겠죠? 영어 너무 어려웠어요 이게.
Thank you.
Okay.
Timothy.
This paper you give here.
What?
강원 중도 개발공사.
Yes.
강원도가 레고랜드를 짓기 위해 세운 회사.
Yes.
It's not build, it's a park.
I know.
레고랜드를 짓기 위해.
There's many otta.
Yeah. Not park.
Yes.
Okay.
오타야?
네. 지기. And there's otta too. 세운 회사 is I-N. 어이.
This made from him.
Yes.
Why your team did choose the Legoland?
레고랜드 is the biggest news in Korean.
Big news in Korea.
And he want to do that.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, is there any other question for what is it? What is it? You can ask in English.
Did Legrand are making profit that even if that gets the long time can return the money?
Can you say again?
Are they making enough profit even if they take some long time can return the money?
Yes. Just 그 강원도 have very money. Yes, very money much. 이제 강원도 have very much money, but 김진태 사실 사실 이게 영어 설명하면 좀 어려운데 이게 in contract is very not compare. Yes. So 김진태's remarks 회생 신청. This is just 전 지사 그러니까 최문순 governor. 이거 한국 어떻게 쓰지? 영어로 틀자마지? 사실 이게 네 오케이.
Organized. So Gangwon province has the enough money to pay back, but then the province right now,
yearly 회생 신청.
yeah.
Yes, because
he chose not to pay it because the event, the building Legoland was not his choice. Actually, he accepted it before, but then the province was changed while the Legoland was building, and then the new province chose not to pay it. But then what about right now? I know he apologized for what he had done, and he said we are gonna pay it like that. Then what's gonna happen next?
What? Have next?
질문?
So is he gonna? Yeah, it was a question. It was organizing and then giving a question. So he said we are gonna pay it.
He said he will pay it. I will pay it.
Yeah, I heard it. Then what's gonna go next time? 회생 신청 was built. Then is it refund? Is it like backwarded? Withdrawn? 회생 신청 is withdrawn and then he's gonna pay it and then it's over, or what about the next event?
회생 신청 means
I know what it means, but yeah.
Teacher, problem is he didn't 회생 신청. He didn't.
He did 회생 신청, but after 3 months, they 김진태 say 내가 다 갚겠다. Yes. Because 사실 회생 신청을 한 이유가 이게 법정에서 제3자가 개입을 하게 되거든요. 회생 신청하고 하면은. 근데 이게 왜 했냐면 전 지사가 그 가운데서 불공정한 계약을 맺었을 때 그게 너무 이게 조금 불공정한 계약을 맺었을 때 그 가운데서 비리가 너무 많았어요.
Okay, so then final question. Is there any other question?
What?
Unchong has question.
그 많고 많은 그 경제 중에서 그 왜 레고랜드를 택했는지.
No. Peter asked the question exactly same. Oh, I'm sorry. Timothy asked the question, and I wanna ask you about the opinions on this event. What do you think? What's gonna happen on the economy because of that event? Yeah, inflation or yeah.
Because governor 이렇게 many the supply 50 billion. So many economic economic boss
Scholars?
yes said inflation will come quickly.
Because
So
of this event,
yes.
because
And
the credit is full.
yes, and this 강원도 promise this contract. This contract. So 그 지자체의 신용이 무너진다는.
Yeah.
Yes.
The credit,
like
the
so
government credit is fell.
yes. So many interest. 그냥 이제 채권을 발행하는데 many 이제 bonds give, but many people and 증권사 don't lend money. So many interest. So interest good.
Okay.
그러니까 채권 시장이 무너졌다고.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the credit is falling.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. 인사. 와. 자. You guys were so good comparing the previous ones. 자. 모두들 박수 수고했어요. 이제 한 명 한 명 각자 늦게까지 한 걸로 알고 있는데 지난번 발표 때보다 진짜 확실히 더 깔끔해지고 좋아졌어요. 피드백을 받아서 그런지 선교사님들이 한 명 한 명 봐줘서 그런지 훨씬 깔끔해지고 다들 잘했고 열심히 했고 수고했습니다. 그래서 지금 그 발표한 순서대로 팀이 나와서 한 명씩 소감을 한 3마디 정도 이야기할게요. 발표자부터 해도 되고 자, 내가 맡은 파트는 무엇이었다? 어떤 게 좋았고 어떤 게 힘들었지만 좋았다. 자.
영어로 하는 거 아니죠? 참 고생 많았고 그래도 저번보다는 열심히 한 것 같고 다행히. 그리고 제가 맡은 건 조사였긴 했는데 그렇게 잘해줬는지 잘 모르겠고, 그리고 또 초반에 힘을 많이 뺐어요. 어떤 분이 자꾸
제가 탈주를 하셔가지고 초반 3시간은 날렸고 그 뒤로 하느라 복구를 좀 하는데 힘들었지만 이분이 다 복구해 주셨습니다. 범인이다.
범인입니다. 초반에 아무것도 안 했어요. 하기 싫었거든. 근데 사실 이거 제대로 시작한 게 저번 주 목요일 때쯤부터 시작했거든요. 그때 아마 완성도가 20% 정도였을 거예요. 그때부터 정신 차려가지고 주말 빼고 목요일, 금요일, 월요일, 화요일, 수요일 5일 정도 했네요. 그거를 조사 다시 하고 하다가 저번 싹 다 갈아엎어가지고 내용을 함축시키고 그리고 제가 PPT 다 만들고 애들한테 시켜가지고 자료 찾아가지고 대본 만들어서 어제 같은 경우에는 새벽 2시까지 6시부터 저녁 먹고 새벽 2시까지 일하고 3시간 자서 아침 5시에 일어나서 지금까지 했습니다. 그래서 끝냈어요.
저도 조사를 했긴 했는데 처음에 조사는 제가 거의 다 했었어요. 근데 조사를 다 했는데 언젠가부터 갑자기 누나 갑자기 올라와봐 이러길래 5분인가 갑자기 전체 다 바뀌었다고 하는 거예요. 그래가지고 내가 조사한 거 어떻게 됐지? 이러면서 억울해했는데 근데 저희가 처음부터 애초에 이렇게 했어야 되는데 이렇게 애초에 처음부터 저희가 생각을 다 안 모으고 한 명이 빠진 이후로 그렇게 돼가지고 같이 이제 합심하여 이렇게 조사를 안 했던 점이 좀 슬펐고요. 그리고 저희가 처음부터 애초에 이렇게 짧게 딱 한 다음에 딱 하는 게 잘 나왔었는데 그냥 조사만 따다다다다닥 하고 하니까 그게 너무 복잡해가지고 너무 힘들었던 것 같고 그리고 어제 너무 성민이가 고생이 많았던 것 같아서 저희 조에게 너무 감사했었어요. 같이 네. 그래도 정말 저희 조한테 너무 진짜 큰 너무 감사가 있었고요. 마음이 좀 억울했어요. 했는데 왜 다 없어지지? 이런 생각 때문에. 그래서 저희 조한테 진짜 정말 감사하다는 생각이 들었어요. 고생.
추가하자면 많이 미안해요. 사실 벼락치기 하지 마세요. 몸에 안 좋아요.
그래도 수고했어요. 예랑이 말이 너무 이쁘네. 감사가 많았다는 점이. 자, 두 번째 팀. 여기 팀은 뭐 PPT가 거의 89장이었어요.
사진 안 나오니? 네, 일단 저는 자료 조사의 80%를 맡았고 대본, 한국어, 영어 제가 다 썼고 PPT, 지침, 하진이 다 해줬습니다. 네, 그래서 처음에는 얘네가 약간 버스를 타는 게 아닌가. 하진이 산업혁명 조사를 했더니 복부 태우고 아파가지고 없어져 버리고 유민이한테 집 가는 주에 대본 같이 쓰자고 했더니 유민이 갑자기 연락도 안 하고 연락도 늦게 받고 그래가지고 그랬는데 그래도 후반에 와서 애들이 막 발표 준비도 열심히 하고 하진이 PPT 열심히 해서 다행히 잘한 것 같아요. 버스 안 타고 노래를 어떻게 네, 그래가지고 그래도 다들 열심히 해줘서 고맙고 뭐 다 이해하셨죠? 저희가 또 이해를 위해서 제가 단어도 일일이 다 생각해가면서 썼거든요. 여러분을 위해서. 네, 그렇습니다. 감사합니다. 아 맞다. 그리고 강욱이 오빠 너무 고마워요. 하진이 PPT 많이 도와줬거든요. 네.
저희가 프로젝트를 시작하고 일주일 뒤에 누구시죠? 프로젝트를 시작하고 일주일 뒤에 주제가 정해졌는데 그래서 조금 조사를 하는데 조금 저는 이해가 안 돼서 거의 하은 언니가 다 했고요. 저는 거의 안 했어요, 사실. 그래서 그래도 옆에 있긴 있었어요. 옆에만 있어줬어요. 그래서 하은 언니한테 되게 고맙고요. 다른 사람들은 조금 늦게 참여를 시작했지만 그래도 노력해줘서 고맙고 그리고 가욱이 오빠는 원래 안 해도 되는데 영어 프로젝트 시간마다 찾아와가지고 옆에서 뭐 도와줄 거 없냐 막 그러면서 계속 도와줘서 매우 고맙고요. 그리고 이번에 발표하면서 제가 진짜 영어를
읽는 건 잘하지만 말하는 거랑 듣는 걸 못하는구나라는 걸 제일 깨닫고 좀 듣는 거랑 말하는 거 문법 이런 거를 연습해야겠다라는 생각이 들었어요.
저는요. 일단은 저희 누나가 하라 할 때 산업혁명 복붙해서 했고요. 근데 너무 타요 타는 것 같아서 타요를 검색했고요. 그리고 제대로 한 게 이번 주 월요일이고요. 이번 주 월요일에 시작해서 오늘까지 했는데 너무 피곤했어요. 5시 반에 일어나서 6시까지 오고. 어쨌든 강욱이 형이랑 누나 그리고 누나 둘이 너무 고맙고요. 강욱이 형 사랑해.
여기서 하게?
아싸. 아크방 나 혼자다. 예. 예. 딱 3마디만 하겠습니다. 운 띄워주시죠. 3마디. 3마디만 하겠습니다. 마다하지 않고 어려운 일들을 감당해준 우리 친구들. D였어? D 아니었구나. 그래, 되게 고맙다.
아니 우리 친구들 한 명 한 명이 너무 이쁘네요. 감사가 넘치네요. 자 이제 미디어 팀.
학부모님들 뭐가 많이 달라졌죠? 저 머리가 삭발했어요. 그냥 너무 힘들었고 별로 한 건 없습니다. 별로 한 건 없고 그냥 힘들었고 고마운 마음도 되게 많고 보이지 않는 압박감에서 되게 그냥 자유를 누렸습니다.
뭐가 제일 재밌었어요? 하면서
제일 재밌는 건 없어요.
뭐가 제일 좋았어요? 그냥
좋은 거요? 좋은 건 쉬는 시간이었고 그리고 한 남은 크리스마스 때 기대해 주세요.
사실 이게 여기서 이제 여러 가지 말을 할 수 있지만 안 하고 일단 하민이가 생각보다 하민아 스크린에 나와 다. 일단 하민이가 생각보다 되게 잘 따라와줘서 되게 고맙고, 네 생각보다 되게 잘 따라와줬어요. 이렇게 해줘 그럼 다음날 한 80% 되어 있고 해서 되게 그게 고마웠던 것 같습니다. 네. 금요일 날 기분 느껴보니요? 근데 금요일 나가 생각보다 조금 많이 돌렸어요. 이게 안 해도 될 거를 많이 해갖고 나는 그 과정을 좀 빼서 막 엄청 어렵진 않았다라는 느낌입니다.
저는 하면서 제 부족함을 많이 느꼈습니다. 그래서 영어를 좀 더 열심히 많이 해야겠구나를 느꼈고, 하연 형이 리드해줘서 진짜 잘 됐고, 그래서 예전보다 노하우가 생겨서 훨씬 빨리 할 수 있게 됐고, 은총이는 저한테 붙어서 잘했어요.
맞아. 이 미디어 영역의 담당을 맡으면서 다 한 명 한 명 다 잘했어요. 수고했어요. 수고했어요. 자, 경제팀.
안녕하세요. 일단 저희 팀은 힘든 거 없이 너무 재밌었어요. 너무 재밌었고 첫날에 저희가 원래 경제를 예전부터 지금까지 하고 지금부터 우크라이나를 조사하기로 했었는데 갑자기 뒤에 계신 분께서 우리 레고랜드를 하자라고 되게 당황을 했었고 진짜 항의를 몇 번 해봤지만 네 제가 힘이 없었어요. 저보다 강해 보이지잖아요. 육체적인 힘이 부족했어요. 그래서 힘으로 저를 누르셨고 그리고 딱 레고랜드에 대해서 조사하는데 막 자산 유동 뭐 뭐시기 뭐 이상한 단어들이 많이 나오는 거예요. 그래서 경제에 대해서 되게 공부를 많이 했고 그 다음에 이번에 제가 영상 편집을 했어요. 영상 편집을 그리고 그 전에 네이트 형이 갑자기 떠나버린 거예요. 저희가 2명이 돼버렸어요. 그래서 되게 막막했는데 네이트 형이 고맙게도 가기 전에 대본 번역이랑 영상 촬영 이런 걸 다 끝내주고 가서 너무 네이트 형한테도 너무 고맙고 네이트 형 고맙고 사랑해. 그리고 영상 편집하면서 이번에 미디어 동아리를 만들게 됐어요. 동아리를 만들게 돼서 앞으로 힐스 영상 나오는 거 많이 기대해 주시고 그리고
홍보가 나오고 있어요.
동아리 계속 모집 중이니까 누구든 들어오고 싶으면 들어오시면 됩니다. 근데 많이 굴릴 수는 있어요. 네. 영상 할 것 같습니다.
강우이가 섭외해주면 되겠네요.
근데 이렇게 보니까 제 머리가 상당히 크네요. 머리 이렇게 부해 보이구나 내가. 매직을 할 때가 된 것 같아. 네, 이제 레고랜드를 하면서 사실 이게 주제는 좀 재밌어 보이잖아요. 이렇게 레고 하면은 뭐 이렇게 좀 재밌어 보이고 하는데 생각보다 만만치 않더라고 이게. 이게 내용 자체가 좀 뭐 채권 시장부터 이게 다 연계돼 있는 그런 복합적인 내용이 섞여 있기 때문에 상당히 어렵더라고요. 그래서 이거를 번역하는데도 네이트가 약간의 무리가 좀 있었어요. 네이트도 약간 무리가 있었고 그래서 이제 번역기와 이제 함께 번역하면서 이제 좋은 시간들 보냈고 또 이제 이렇게 또 우리 꼬맹이랑 이제 같이 하면서 이제 좋았죠 사실. 예, 좋았어요. 이제 애가 또 말을 잘 들어가지고 애가 잘 따라줘서 이렇게 딱 시키는 거 하고 저도 이제 PPT 만들고 사실 네이트가 다 했어요. 네이트가 영상 다 찍어주고 번역 저 대본 다 해주고 가가지고 저요? 저는 이제 PPT를 만들었고 여기 이제 영상 편집하면서 자료조사는 이제 3명 사실 자료조사 우리 둘이 했어요. 자료조사 우리 됐고 네이트가 이제 영상 찍고 이렇게 했었습니다. 네. 예. 네 끝입니다. 네 감사합니다.
덧붙이자면 원래 재상이 형이 그 질문 받는 걸 되게 하기 싫어했어요. 그래서 억지로 제가 끌어나왔는데 제가 말하려고 하니까 계속 끼어들어서 말하는 거예요. 그래서 좀 그랬어요. 이상입니다.
네.
와, 트리 나온다. 트리. 엄마가 앞에 본다.
그래서 네, 다 여러분 다 잘했어요. 박수. 진짜 잘했어. 자, 그래서 1차부터 2차까지 하느라 진짜 다들 너무 고생 많았고 울지 마시고. 자, 그래서 이제 영어 프로젝트는 이렇게 끝이 났고요. 자, 이제 그래서 우리 이제 12월 달 됐으니까 이제 크리스마스 또 이제 남았죠. 이제 네, 또 다른 시즌이 됐으니까 이제 다음 달은 크리스마스 준비에 이제 몰두할 것 같고 이제 다 잘했고 진짜 보면서 각자 맡은 진짜 책임감을 가지고 다들 진짜 최선을 다하고 밤새워 가면서 이제 네, 탐구욕을 불태우는 걸 보고 진짜 감동받았고요. 제가 오히려 보고 배웠습니다.
울지 마세요, 쌤.
진짜. 네. 아, 네. 아무튼 다 알아서 다 잘하고 특히 우리 네 경제팀 진짜 잘하더라고요. 말 실수한 것 같다. 다 잘했어. 다 진짜 잘했고요. 진짜 어느 팀 하나 진짜 거를 타선 없이 진짜 다 잘했어요. 진짜 진심으로. 진짜 다 너무 잘했고 그래서 네 이렇게 이제 저희 힐스 이제 영어 프로젝트는 이제 공식적으로 마쳤습니다. 네 다들 수고하셨습니다. 박수.
방송 탔어.
영어 프로젝트 해준 선생님도 너무 감사하잖아요. 쌤이랑 성빈 쌤이랑 현빈 쌤이랑 수아 쌤이랑 다 한 팀씩 맡아가지고.
현빈 쌤 저희 팀 아무것도 안 도와줘. 사진 검열만 했어요. 자기들.
일단은 함께 계셔줬잖아요. 자, 다들 수고했습니다. 우리 점심 12시라서 바로 올라가서 4층에 준비할게요.